Welcome back to Far and Away Fitness. Today we're filming at Lake Dillon in Colorado. Our stretching session focuses on lower body, stretching the back sides of our legs, increasing our hip mobility, and releasing tension in your low back. For today's stretching session, filmed at Lake Dillon, you're going to want a block or a pillow, and you'll want a strap or some type of belt. Now I'm going to place the block under my head. This is not required, but you may find it's more comfortable than having your head all the way on the ground. I'm going to take hold of one leg, grabbing either underneath the leg or on top of the shin, and simply draw my knee up toward my shoulder. This is releasing a little tension in the quadricep and beginning the work of hip mobility. Now, as I release my grip, I'm going to take my leg and circle from the hip joint in one direction, and then I'm going to circle in the other direction. I may notice a couple of creaks as I work through the stiffness of the joint, and that's nothing to be concerned about. Now, using my strap, I'm going to take it underneath my foot and extend my leg as straight as I can to begin stretching through the back side of the leg. What you will find as you begin to stretch the back side of the leg, particularly the hamstring area on a regular basis, is it will help to reduce some of your low back pain. Now, holding my strap with one hand, I allow my leg to drop open, now getting a little more of a stretch through the inside thigh. Being purposeful to breathe with full inhales and full exhales throughout the stretch. Using an inhale, I'll bring my leg back up to center and stretch the back side of the leg once again. By flexing my foot here, I'm getting a little bit extra of a stretch. Now, switching hands to hold the strap, I'm going to take the leg across my body. My other arm will come out in a T. I can go across as much as is right for my body, optionally rolling onto that other hip, finding a stretch on the outside of the leg, the back side of the leg into the hip, finding a nice spinal mobility through the back, and continuing to breathe, of course. Sometimes it's tempting to hold your breath during stretches. And if you catch yourself doing that, simply take a nice good inhale and return to purposeful breathing. With my next inhale, I'll bring my leg back up to center, getting a stretch once more on the back side of the leg. Maybe pulling gently just a little bit more on the strap this time to increase the stretch. From here, I will set my strap aside as I place my ankle on top of the other quadricep. And I'll thread my hands through to grab hold of that opposite leg and draw the legs in toward me. I'm flexing the foot of the leg that I'm stretching to help protect the knee. And this stretch is targeting the gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in your buttock area. Next, I'm going to cross my legs even more, thigh over thigh, and grab whatever's available to me. It could be the back sides of the legs, the shins, the feet, and I'm drawing those legs in toward me. Moving into stretch, the piriformis area. Breathing through it, this may be a very tight region. And as I release that extra leg, I now take hold of the leg I'm stretching and give it a little rock out side to side. And grabbing whatever's available to me, I'm going to work towards bringing my foot toward my opposite shoulder, stretching deeply into that hip region, deeply into the buttock area. And for my exit from the stretch, I'm going to take my legs straight up, grab whatever I can, do one sit-up, nose towards the knee, and then release the upper body down and very slowly lower the leg as I point and flex and point and flex. And once that leg makes it all the way to the ground, I observe the difference between the two legs. The leg I just stretched probably feels longer. So now, taking my second leg, I'll grab whatever's available behind the leg or on the shin and draw it in towards me, releasing a little tension in the quadricep and beginning the work of hip mobility. Now, releasing my grip, I'll take a few circles in one direction, just getting that synovial fluid of the joint moving. And then I'll reverse the direction and take it the other way. Now I'll grab my strap again and take it underneath the bottom of the foot on this leg to get a nice good stretch on the back side of the leg. Taking it easy on the initial stretch because my leg may be very tight and stiff starting out. Holding the strap with one hand, allowing that leg to drop open to stretch through the inside thigh area. Nice full inhales and exhales. And using my next inhale to bring the leg back to center, stretching that back side of the leg once again. Switching hands and taking that opposite arm out in a T. I bring the leg across the body, any amount, might be a small amount, or I might even roll onto the hip and give it a little deeper stretch. The more that I pull on the strap, the deeper the stretch, the more I will feel it on the back side and the outside of that leg running up into the hip. Using an inhale, coming back to center, getting a good stretch on the back side of the leg once again, maybe flexing my foot a little bit to get a little extra. And then setting the strap aside as I take that foot onto my opposite leg, threading my hands through and grabbing hold to stretch into the gluteus maximus area. This is a big muscle, so it takes a little longer to give it a full, complete stretch, continuing to breathe as I feel the muscle start to release just a little bit at a time. And now going deeper, thigh over thigh, grabbing whatever I can and drawing these legs in toward my chest. Moving deeper into that hip and buttock area in the piriformis. Releasing my free leg, I take hold of whatever's available here and give my leg just a little rock out side to side. And now, holding on to whatever I can, I'm bringing this foot up toward the opposite shoulder, stretching deep, deep, deep into that hip and buttock region. And for my exit here, taking the leg straight up, grabbing whatever I can, doing one sit-up, nose toward the knee, resting back down with the upper body, and slowly lowering the leg as I point and flex. Noticing, observing with both legs on the ground. Both legs should feel longer, a little less stress, a little less tension in the legs. And I should feel a little relief, not only in the hips and the buttock area, but also in the low back. From here, taking both legs up in the air, making a tabletop and both arms out in a T. This last stretch will help to relieve pain or stress and tension in the back. Taking a good breath in, dropping the legs to one side, and once they drop, observing my opposite shoulder. A lot of times it wants to pop off the ground. Gently leaning back towards it, bringing it back into the ground. Using an inhale to bring my legs up through the center and taking them to the other side. Making any adjustments as needed. Working to keep that opposite shoulder from coming off the ground. Breathing in, bringing both legs back to center, releasing the feet down, and this concludes our stretch for the lower body.